Yes, 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 y'all. Check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Check it out. Welcome to another one of those Spin That Back shows. I'm your
What up,
host.
son? What up, kid? What's up, yo?
What's going
Y'all
on with you,
good?
money? Yo, G.
I'm on the stoop. I mean, chicken and shit. But yo, do y'all shows, kid.
Yes, sir.
You know what we talking about. Go ahead, yo, do the show, son.
Yeah,
We
you
gonna
got some
talk
watermelon too, bro?
Huh?
You got some watermelon over there too, bro?
No watermelon, kid. Yo, watch out. Why you
Damn money.
disrespecting me, son?
Damn money.
He's up, son. Yo, I can't eat chicken.
All right, that's
Yo,
enough. Fake East
Hey,
Coast.
body.
Hey, yo, check this out. We back again. It's me, Mr. L. Pooh, the Loke, Mr. Walk, the co-host, and Mr. Nice Guy, the man is always here. Check this out. We're going to be talking. We got a special show today. We had an eclipse Monday. So we're going to talk about what the moon did to the sun. It made a black moon. So in honor of the eclipse, we're going to talk about Mr. Buckshot Shorty, Black Moon, and the whole boot camp clique. Yes, sir. What's going on with you brothers today?
Straight up Brooklyn shit, yo. Brooklyn shit right here. Mhm. I'm in my Brooklyn state of mind. These headphones not even on, but this is like how they look. Man, my Brooklyn shit, yo. Yo, do y'all shit, son.
Hey man, Brooklyn had a vibe to it. Just where Pooh's just sitting there walking around Brooklyn, and you hear that noise and people were getting nervous. It's like they always said, this must be something in the water, man.
You know, it's I don't know if it was or if it still is. It's a street called Brooklyn that runs through East LA. Or maybe it got changed. I'm not sure. That's the only thing I knew about Brooklyn. I'm from LA, so Brooklyn didn't scare me. Brooklyn, Harlem, Queens, the Bronx, all that was just New York.
Yo, kid. I know you know this. Is Brooklyn in the house?
Hey.
That's who we talking about. All these MCs is from Brooklyn, kid.
The boot camp clique. But you know what? I want to put heavy emphasis on Black Moon. Now let's talk about Black Moon.
Let me say one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only boot camp clique I respect, because the reason why, because you know a lot of rappers had little underlings that did boot camp clique. Mystical had the boot camp clique, and we got that boot camp clique. I'm out that boot camp clique. I got my rifle in my mouth. I'm just saying.
When I heard that, I was like, "Is he part of Black Moon and him?"
No,
that's when I'm saying. When I first heard that song, bro, because that's one of the first songs I heard from him. I think actually. Yep. And I thought, I'm like, is this dude? I was just had to question it. Like, is he from Black Moon? And people's like, who's Black Moon? And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. I guess he ain't. Yeah, and you know, I started just some cats that wasn't super.
But that's just a tight name. It was just a tight name. But we know who the first boot camp clique is.
But Mystical was in
the record label.
Mystical was in the military. That's what he got it from. You know, like
no, he had a real little. I mean, there was a bunch of rappers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He had a circle.
He was in the military, right?
Yeah. Okay, he did 6 years in the military. Mystical is 2 years older than me. We gotta do a show on Mystical.
Yeah, he doing some years right now too. So, but yeah.
Y'all do your shit. Clean up, man. I got yo, son, yo. Don't talk about Mystical, yo. Let's get to the boot. Let's get to this. Let's get to the get. I'm about to wash up this shit. Spin that back, son.
There you go.
All right. I'll be right back. I'm right here.
So let's come back and put some real super respect on Brooklyn, because you know everybody knows that hip hop started from the Bronx, but a lot of people would say that it really started from the DJs in Brooklyn. Really, it was the Brooklyn DJs that brought what came to the Bronx. So let's give a lot of respect to the Bronx. And Bronx, there's going to be a certain name of Bronx. That's like how Shaolin became the name of Staten Island because of the movement and stuff. You know, the boot camp clip put some emphasis on Brooklyn that gave its own name too, but we'll come back to that.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and talk about it, because Buckshot did say straight from Brooklyn, better known as Crooklyn. You know, I can damn near quote that whole song. Anyway, let's get back. This is my man Buckshot. Let's talk about Buckshot from Black Moon. And I'm gonna tell you about this album right here. First of all, it's called Enter the Stage. To me, this is a classic album. It did not even go gold when it came out. It only sold like 400 some thousand. Do you believe that, bruh?
That's the thing about it. That underground stuff, that dope stuff. You know, a lot of at that point in time, we knew that we was doing it for the love of the music, and we wasn't necessarily going to get those big sales. So that was kind of part of the territory.
Yeah, true. But to me, that was really a classic album. I don't know what it did in the source, but I think it should have deserved at least 4 mics, 4.5. I mean, it was very good. It was time for the time. It was great.
You talking about Buckshot Beatty? Which
No,
one?
we talking about Buckshot Shorty.
Buckshot Shorty. Buckshot Shorty.
I don't know what Buckshot Beatty is. That sounds
No.
that sound like something off a Martin episode. He talking about
Google it. Anyway, but yo, I remember that. I remember Buckshot. I was in the Navy, and they used to play videos. It was just a constant running. They play Rap City, UMTV Raps, and you just see it, and you'd be like, "Who the fuck is this dude?" It was tight. It was tight. New York guy with the backpack. He might be the inventor of the backpack rappers.
Hey, when I think about that, when I think about the backpack rappers, I definitely think about Buckshot Shorty. What you about to say?
Why wouldn't you think of Grand Poobah?
Not big.
I don't associate him with that. Yeah, I don't associate.
Oh,
It's just a screen nice guy. Like, what's going on? Anyway.
Hey, look. Off the subject, my man's Church of Hip Hop and Financial Prosperity says, off the subject, I remember when the boot camp Clik came to LA for the first time, my brother and I confronted them because they used to claim to be 5%ers. Let's just say they confirmed that they were.
Now, shout out to Born a Lot. That's who's making this comment. And this brother would never play around.
Why would you put him on blast, bro? He come in.
I know. I'm born a lie ain't hide behind nothing. He put the Church of Hip Hop Financial Prosperity. You know exactly what it is. And the reason
I had a feeling. The
reason why I'm particularly shouting out my brother is because we gonna do a Born a Lie Spin That Back show. So we gonna deal with his discography over his career, and we also gonna promote some of his new stuff. So when we talk about Spin That Back, it's still an era, but you know a lot of people from my era still putting stuff down. So salute to our brother for watching, and salute for his input. But I'm just saying that this brother was with the business. I heard rumors about him slapping people in the club that pretended to be a 5%er, or at least didn't come correct. So you be very careful when
that kind of was the thing where, like, well, especially on the East Coast in New York, like, if you don't know the what's today's knowledge, son?
Yeah.
Mathematics.
What's today's?
Yeah.
What's the mathematics?
If you don't know it, got you slapped right there.
Hey, watch this. There's a clip with Method Man and a sister from the audience on Tempest Bledsoe show. She said, "Yo, what's today's mathematics, God?" And he was like, "Knowledge." It was something. Method Man was on it, though. He did that. Yeah, that's some serious shit they got going on there.
Real talk. They don't play with that, bro. Like Lord Jamal got his podcast. You know, shout out to Lord Jamal. Yeah, he do the math every time he jump on. So yeah, they take that serious. You know. And I ain't really know about the 5%ers. I'm just now we getting off subject, but when I first heard the 5%ers and God Body and all that was Rakim. Hey, that's where I got it from personally. That's why he called it IDMC. Anyway.
So yeah, we definitely gonna do that Born a Lie show, but let's get back to the boot camp Clik. Buckshot Shorty, this dude was, he was dope. The first song I heard was, I think it was the Who Got the Props song, Who Got the Props. And I mean, I can definitely remember the MTV and all this, the whole little video, and just, they had a hook, they had like all the elements, and he had like real great cadence, and just, the sort of like the rumble of the bass and all this other stuff. I mean, the rolling of the bass, it was a dope song. So, salute to that brother.
And they
Black Moon. No, I was just gonna say the Black Moon is, we always think of Black Moon. Buckshot Shorty, he's one of the guys. Black Moon is actually the trio of people.
Right. But they had their own Wow, that was so dope. And they was on some shit like, yo, we gotta do our shit this East Coast because that's when the West Coast was emerging. All that, this is pre-East-West beef. It's just on some, yo, we gotta come tight. We gotta come with our shit. We gotta represent our styles. And here's the beauty. Here's the beautiful part. West Coast was singing the same shit. That's why it was so much great music in that era, dude. I got out. Wait, hold on, yo, son. I got out of character. Yo. Yeah. Who got the pro? It was
Yeah,
that's the beat miners.
part of
That's
the
what
beat
I'm talking about. They made the beat.
Yeah, when they still part of Duck Down, so the whole thing is Duck Down Productions. Well, Duck Down Records, Duck Down Productions, all the same. So yeah, so it was. Yeah, it started off with that one song, "Who Got the Props," and this was a pivotal song because it was just banging from beginning to end. First time I heard it, I liked it, but it tripped me out because me and my boy used to go digging in the crates, buying records. We pick up that Ronnie Law's "Pressure Sensitive," and we heard that beat, the tidal wave, the do, the beat that they use. And we like, damn, this sounds familiar.
You doing that is like bring me back to '93. Like,
this is like 92. I think it was 92 when they actually came out with "Who Got the
Same shit, same year.
Either way, yeah, okay. But we heard the beat. This shit sound familiar because we wasn't really hip to like but we heard it. You know what I'm saying? And then by a month later, we like, oh, this is what it is. It's that Black Moon joint, you know? And by that time, I think the album had probably came out. But yeah, we was like, whoa, this was clever. And it's like, to me, it was like, damn, how come they was the first ones to, well, I don't know if they was, but to my knowledge, why was they the first ones to use that track right there? It's like this track was just sitting there and nobody used it. That's what it was.
That used to kid me all the time. I mean, and it was a race. Back in those days, it was a race to be the first to do something. You'd be scared to even let people hear it, you know what I'm saying, without at least putting your whole song together and put your claim to it. So you right on about that. Hey, Born Alive, I just sent you a link if you want to just come on. So, I'm giving you that option as well, brother.
Because we got this last little comment that you put up here, but we're gonna get to that.
Come back to that. Yeah, we're coming back to that.
Because what you just said is profound. We all agree with it too. I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
We ain't gonna put it up now until we get to that part of the story.
Yeah, we're coming back to it. Exactly. I was thinking the same thing, Pooh. So and they had hopefully I'm not moving too fast, but I believe they had Smith and Wesson on their first project as well.
Yeah, they had a song called Blacksmith and Wesson. I think they was on there.
But we gotta know that all these dudes, every group, that even the ones that we're gonna talk about in a few minutes, they all grew up together. You're in the project, son. Yo, you know what I'm saying? I was on the stoop.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, they all grew up together though.
No, not necessarily because Tech and the dudes from what was
Smith and Wesson.
Smith and Wesson. Because they didn't know him. They got introduced.
It's all link by link, like yo.
Well, that's kind of like the RZA connection. Like RZA was connected to everybody, but not everybody was individually connected to anybody. So there was connective tissue, but they didn't necessarily like know each other. But
hey, wait, hold on. Watch this. It's just like El Pooh and you. It's like to me, ain't shit. But I've been knowing you for years, and you've been knowing niggas I've been knowing for years. I'm putting it in the wrong way.
I was thinking the exact same thing, brother, because our whole tie is basically your brother Do-Rod, rest in peace, Do-Rock, and and just one of the main reasons why I even connected with Floyd X.
Now, you know everybody. Everybody knows
because of Born Alive. A lot of it because we used to have those big debates. So shout out to Paxton. We had all those big debates, and we had that. So it's Born Alive and Floyd X and all that stuff. So we had a whole lot of dialogue about a whole bunch of things. So that was sort of like the beginning of all of this.
Like that's how. It's still family.
Speak of the God.
What's going on?
Speak of the God, and He appears.
Hey, bro.
Wait. What's the sign, scared? What is it? I don't even know.
Introducing Mr. Born Alive. I heard so much about this brother, but ain't never met him. How you doing there, bro?
I'm good, soldier. How about yourself, El Pooh?
I'm good, bro. Good.
Yeah, man. Good to see my crew out there, man. Walk and shit, man. Mr. Nice Guy, man. You guys always put me on the spot and shit. I be making comments and then y'all send me the link. And then I got to get makeup ready and shit like early in the morning.
I was thinking about that too. He's gonna be like, man, I got to do all this stuff now. I got to set up all of this and blah blah blah.
Yo,
I'm like,
what
hey,
I'm here at breakfast, my guy. Like,
oh, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, Walks was eating the people on the bottom. He got the chicken, so you know he was.
Hey, my brother, there better not be no pork on that plate
man,
over there.
if you don't knock it off, my guy, you gonna make me start pulling out. You gonna start me making me pull out my ingredients, showing them up on the phone like nobody ever catch me slipping, my dude.
Hey, that's today's society. Be like, oh yeah, I caught born Allah eating some goddamn pork.
They wish they could. They wish they would catch me slipping like that, my dude. But I love the subject, man. I love the subject matter.
About Black Moon and the boot camp Clik,
well, like I told y'all, my first experience, man, was catching them, you know, because you know I'm in the music, plus I'm a 5%er. So, you know, in those days, man, we used to really go head hunting, man, you know, really 5%ers who were in the music industry that would come to town. We would always come and press the issue, you know what I'm saying? So my first experience was running up on them, like, you know, what's today's mathematics, you know what I'm saying? And then they, you know, in there saying a bunch of funky stuff. They got mad, but we was entirely too deep for them to do anything about it and shit. So, you know, we let them go ahead and keep it pushing, but that was my first thing. But musically, sonically, them dudes was incredible, you know what I'm saying? Buckshot initially was the main star, man. But I think what's dope about this conversation is that when they began to, you know, go to the back burner and wasn't popping no more, how Sean Price ended up emerging and being that guy, and to the point whereas his catalog, I think, really is more revered than what Buckshot did as a solo artist.
Oh, no doubt. We're gonna come back to Sean P. And
that's all the way to damn near to the end, though.
Yeah,
okay. So don't let me jump the gun.
Hey, pause. You gonna get pushed back on that? I ain't never heard of no Sean Price. Who's that?
Oh man, you gotta knock it off, Walk. Really, man? That is the epitome of bully bars, man. My dude talk raggedy to rappers, man. Like Sean Price was something special, my dude. Especially when how he emerged. Like you check his catalog from Monkey Bars up, because Monkey Bars, when he came into the game with Monkey Bars, it was bananas. And it was just bully traditional battle rap type stuff. Like Walk, you would really enjoy it because it's really.
Let me get on my computer.
Man.
Y'all in my ear though.
Hey, shout out to Brother Vic. I probably should have reached out to him to get him on the show, because I believe that Sean Price, I heard him say that was his favorite rapper. So, you know, that was, you know, he's that dude. He's really that dude. We're gonna come back.
Hold up. One time. Right now, we are talking about Into the Stage. First Black Moon album. This is what we're going to put our focus on right now.
Yes, but let me tell you this, like when another thing that you guys hit about the originality of back in the day, and I just had this conversation because somebody had posed this the other day, like how far we would go to be original back in my era of hip hop, to the point whereas if somebody came out utilizing the same sample as you before yours came out, you would trash the whole song and start from scratch. Like you would keep the lyrics, but you would change the whole beat because somebody used your sample. Like we come up in the era whereas then we used to hide the labels on the records when we were spinning. You know what I'm saying? They would cross it out or white it out so people wouldn't see what you spinning. That's how it was. Like now with the information age, you have people snitching on the samples. Like I remember Premier, he was bugging out on that when the Beats and Break albums started coming out and they started articulating where all the samples was coming from. That's when cats started getting sued because people was chopping them so crazy they didn't know where that shit came from.
Hey, who sampled this? Who sampled this? That stuff breaks it all down. Yeah. So.
And all it is motherfuckers snitching on music and shit. Like it's really music snitching because a lot of cats wasn't getting sued until people was revealing what the sample was and shit. Because people was taking it, changing the tone, playing it backwards. You would never know.
Chopping it.
Spin that back. Hold on. You hitting on something. Now, when they came with the second song I heard from them, I believe was How Many MCs.
And wasn't that a Barry White sample?
No, not that one. That's I Got You Open remix.
Okay.
I'm talking How Many MC? Doom. But EPMD had used that before them. That's why I was hating on it because I'm like, that's EPMD's beat.
You sound like
People
me
love it
because
now.
I did the same thing with Ain't No Nigga and shit because I was like, fool, that's an EP of you know what I'm saying?
Right,
How
right,
about
yeah.
how about let's fast forward now that the big song that Kendrick Lamar did the diss song to is Everlasting Bass by Joe Cooley and fucking
Hey, and y'all ain't heard no one mention that at least one. It's damn near just the same
it's
beat. Like
borderline disrespectful, my dude. It's borderline disrespectful
it
that
is.
nobody mentions that that's what
Yeah.
that is, that that's Everlasting Bass. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Rodney
Not
O and
even
Joe
mention.
Cooley. Yeah.
Let's go a little deeper. On this album, the drum lines was all the breakbeat drums, the
Mm,
skull snaps, all the famous little drum. But see, this is where hip hop was at this time. Everybody was
hmm
using the same drum lines for everything.
hmm You could get away with the drum loops because the drum loops was the most thing that you could argue in hip hop at the time that you couldn't get sued about because remember back in the day you couldn't get sued for drum loops and shit
Bullshit.
like
Yes,
you
you
Well,
know,
could.
they
but
not.
that
He said they
yeah
didn't think that. That was the
Oh, they
yeah
position
didn't
they
that
think.
they
didn't
they
Okay,
think
were
that
okay.
and
comfortable
Okay,
shit.
they
with.
You
didn't.
know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
okay, hold on.
So
Let me step.
those are all the things. So it's amazing how our knowledge of the music game matured as we started utilizing these things. Because you got to think that was always the hard reason that hip hop had about breaking was because initially all it was us performing on other people's music. So we never understood how to translate that to record because you couldn't use other people's music. So that's when you start getting the bands and stuff like that. People coming in, they're becoming the first hip hop producers and shit, like Larry and shit. Larry, he threw me in the car. Larry Law drove off and he never came back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm
Cadillac,
saying? Like
Cadillac.
these are the first,
Oh, producer.
hip hop producers and stuff, that was not able to use the samples that was going in there with them keyboards and everything, man. So that's the beauty, I think, of West Coast music because initial West Coast hip hop was really a translation of the electronic music that Soul Sonic Force and everybody was doing, and it wasn't sample based, it was very drum machine and key based. You know what I'm saying? That's how that music came about,
And that
so a lot of
tempo was that was a higher tempo. And we got the Egyptian
exactly.
lover, Uncle
Yeah.
Jam's
Oh.
army. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
The breathe,
Hey,
yeah,
very
the
true.
breathing.
Yeah.
hey, that's why I salute to Bruce Springsteen, where
Mm,
they tried to get him to get on the 2 Live crew for using band in the USA. He said, "No, let them do their thing. I ain't suing nothing." But they tried to prompt him to fucking to get on the 2 Live
yeah,
crew.
that was the news story of that was that Bruce Springsteen cleared the sample
Right.
because a lot of people was very much not clearing the sample,
Yep.
but based off of what he was going through and what the song was, that's why he cleared the sample and shit. Because you got to think out of all of Luke's songs and shit, the one that he ended up really having the biggest hit was that when he was going through the court case and all that and shit, turning it into a constitutional thing. So that's why
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen let him slide on that and shit, man. But it's a profound thing, man. Like this whole thing with the music and everything, man. Just the way it's matured over the years now, man. Because all of the equipment now is geared to doing things that we were jimmying the equipment to do.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what
It's
I'm saying?
automation. But I can
Yeah.
tell Pooh trying to bring us back to the boot camp clip. So yeah, but
No, no, that's
we,
not.
Send
No, I'm
that
sorry.
back.
okay.
Send that back.
Yeah, let's send it back. But say this much too. Uh, we got to do a show on Luke because Luke was pivotal to the music game in itself by itself. His story is just phenomenal. We got to take
Mm,
a whole hour to talk about Luke by himself. Anyway, let's get
yes.
back to what we was talking about. But one more thing we was talking about with those drum loops. See, the reason why everybody was using the same drum loops was the same thing that you said. Those breakbeat records that was coming out. They
Hey,
took
I'm
all
guilty.
the drum loops.
Guilty.
Everybody
I
is.
was.
Every producer that was out in the early 90s, you was using these break
Yeah,
beats too. Everybody's
I,
using.
hmm
I'm sure I could go grab one of them CDs right now. The Music
And I
Madness.
mean, listen. When I say everybody, I mean Quick, Dre, everybody on the East Coast. Everybody used
Let
those.
me tell you, I can tell you where we were buying it at. That was back when B-Boy Records was on Slauson back in the day. And a lot of people don't remember that as shit. B-Boy Records was a real hip-hop store that used
Cross
to be on
Crenshaw.
Slauson. Yep, that's past Crenshaw and shit. On the same side of the street as where the Marathon store is, but just a couple of blocks down, like going towards Woody's and shit. It
Right.
used to be right over there, a big-ass building, and then they moved to downtown LA, and that was always a hip hop hot spot for people, which especially DJs and stuff like that, to get their records and everything. It was a vinyl store that a lot of people, and this is the late '80s. You know what I'm saying? That store was over there.
Yeah. Well, I used to copy mine on cassettes from other people. So and that. But getting back
when
to the boot
CDs came out, it was a wrap
Yes,
as far as
sir.
sharing stuff. But go ahead,
Yes,
you say
sir.
Elbow?
yeah, you can copy from CD to tape too.
Oh yeah. No, I'm just saying. But once the CDs, it was so much easier to give somebody stuff. I mean, as a DJ, I used to have to lug all these records. I had to pick and choose which records I'm going to take to do this. I can't just bring everything. But once it got the CDs, I mean, I could pretty much bring everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
just. But yeah, getting back to the boot camp clip.
Okay. We got Who Got the Props. We went to How Many MCs. Then you had I Got You Open. See, I Got You
y'all
Open.
talking about Smith and Wesson?
No, we're about to get there. We're about to get there.
I want to have a lot of emphasis on this first album because this first album set it off to me. So then they had a song called I Got You Open. The remix was the one everybody's up on. That's the one with the Barry White sample playing.
Right.
The original is on the album. It's a faster version with a whole different beat and everything. But he used the first verse, I think he actually used on both of them. Then everything else is different. But yeah, but when he used that Barry White sample, I didn't even know that was Barry White at the time. Then when I came across it, I'm like, oh shit. Then I'm like, well, how did he get the instrumental like that? Then I heard the original. I'm like, oh, that's where they got it from. It's a long version of it that starts off with the instrumental. That's where they got the
Now let me ask you: have you guys mentioned the producers of that stuff? Wasn't it like the
Beat Miners?
Yeah, the Beat Miners. And
you see,
Evil D.
You see, walk eyeballs. Yeah, he was stressing that. So yeah, that
not
was
walk.
Yeah,
Walt.
And that was the group blue. I'm about to call him Blue Moon. My bad. Black Moon. Black Moon. So yeah, because a lot of people think Black Moon. They think it's Buckshot Shorty, but Black Moon was the collective. Buckshot Shorty was the individual rapper.
Absolutely, it's absolutely, man. No, you're right. They have a rich history, man. That whole, that whole clique and that whole camp. So, and now as I'm talking about it out loud, it's like I'm recollecting different things that they brought to the table. So they was high powered, man. I didn't even consider Smith and Wesson and shit, which is,
And who we might as well just go on.
Wait, first of all, let me say this. My brother Charles X said, "Brother Born Our Lives up here teaching." That's the truth. But you guys say it the right way. It wasn't Smith and Wesson. It was Smith.
Yes. How about this? Do you remember when they got sued by Smith and Wesson and had to change the name? They changed it to Coco Bravo.
The Coco Brothers.
How the hell these little underground group going to affect Smith and Wesson? This gun company has been around for at least 100 years at that time.
Hey, but they had an interview where they was like, y'all still using the name again. Did y'all pay them again? They like, no, we just double back. If we get sued again, we gonna change it back to the Coco Brothers.
No, what they did was just change the spelling. The same reason why Timberland.
No, it was already Smith and Wesson.
It was already
in the beginning. Yeah, it was already, and I think it was too similar.
Yeah, I always thought that they had changed the spelling. That's how they end up using it, because I know that's how Timberland is able to use his name, because it's really Timberland, not Timberland. It's Timberland.
Google it. They had an interview. I'm going about an interview I see.
Yeah, it was like, fuck it, huh? Fuck it.
Well, after so much time passed, it's just like a lot of people, like you said, a lot of these things were snitching on people, but some people never even found out, like, hey, wait a second, that was my stuff that this obscure rapper was using, making money off of. But let me talk about Smith and Wesson. These dudes, I'm gonna tell you that song, Bucktown, which is like, just think about it. They blew up and established their stuff, sort of like how Wu-Tang did with the Shaolin. That literally Bucktown, that became like the name for Brooklyn, a name for Brooklyn. A lot of these people, whatever. And I mean, that song, I still bang that song in my car today. You go to my car, you gonna hear Bucktown.
The Shining is a classic album. The Shining,
they reference
classic.
That a lot of prominent names refer to Brooklyn as Bucktown on account of them. Jay-Z.
Well, Jay-Z was after them. Basically.
After them. I mean, they started. They invented Bucktown.
They got a song called "Buck 'Em Down," where they say "Buck 'em down, buck 'em down, buck 'em down, Bucktown, buck 'em down, Bucktown." Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. No,
they
reference it. It's like me calling LA Guntown or some shit. And then saying Guntown. I'm real talk. That was a stamp. And Buckshot, he said that he's been around these dudes his whole life. He knew these guys. Everybody knew each other. And that's just the beauty of the whole group, the whole clique. Now,
And let me throw this out here too. If you really think about it and shit, man, this camp, boot camp clip is really the blueprint to what Mobb Deep end up doing. But just they end up doing it for Queens. But it's really the same blueprint, little rowdy ass little niggas and shit sticking people up and doing, you know what I'm saying? Like doing their little thing, you know what I'm saying? And that was the scene in New York, just the little dudes.
Let me just say one thing though. I think Mobb Deep came out a couple of years before them now.
Really?
Yeah, because they had a
But
first.
let me tell you this though. You're absolutely right. But look at the imagery compared to the first album of Mobb Deep compared to when they came out with the one. Their imagery wasn't like that before and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when they first came out, it was more like a horrorcore type of thing where it was they're just doing scary raps and walking around with the pitchforks and shit like that.
Yeah.
Not to mention hit it from the back. It's like a completely different vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Different vibe. So that's the point that I'm making, because that wasn't their imagery initially and shit. They they turned it, they got onto the stick up kid stuff later on and shit. Man.
I don't know. Have you heard the first version of Shook Ones, the original?
That's when they started changing, but they had music prior to that.
That was on the first album. That was on the Juvenile Hell album.
Nah, really?
Shook Ones Part 1. Shook Ones Part 1.
That's when they was on that bullshit though, too. That's when they was on that
well, listen to the lyrics though. They was on that stick up shit there on that one.
Right. But what kills me is that initially they would, was good kids, man, because that's one of the things that Jay-Z exposed and shit, because Homeboy's mom had owned a dance studio and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? His grandmother actually.
Yeah, there you go. Man. My man knows history and shit, man.
Hey, you talking to El Pulo, man. The El Pulo. That's the reason why I'm the El.
We gonna talk about Mobb Deep. We gonna get to come on,
little
ballerina, stop
that. Up too many doors right now.
See, Born, I be on that shit. Fuck your favorite rapper. I know this guy. Come on, not today, Born. Come on, boy. Wait. Let's get back to the boot camp Clik. I want to say this before we end. Smith & Wesson had one of my favorite songs ever in life. I played Cocoa Brothers when they first started Cocoa Brothers. This for Nice Guy, Black Trump.
Oh yeah, Black Trump. Yeah,
I got that as all of my playlists on Tidal, straight up. That's my favorite song.
Hey, I love that one-on-one.
On the chef.
The one-on-one. They had a few joints, when they came back. So I always love those cats. They just it was dope.
Yeah, it is.
And
the son show me respect when I'm rocking the podium. Oh, like this. That's hard. I love that. Straight, yo, kid, Brooklyn. Yo, son, I'm in my cipher, yo.
Hey, does that?
Let me go back to Black Moon one and ask one question. Can anybody quote anything that 5FT had said on that album?
Who's 5FT?
That's the other MC. It was Buckshot and it was 5FT, and then it was Evil D. That was the three cats from.
Did 5FT ever rap, or he was like a Vinny and Naughty by Nature type dude?
I think he was more like a Cherobi and a Tribe Called.
Yeah. He was more just a prop and shit. Somebody to stand around with the backpack on and look tough.
Oh man!
I think he was a DJ.
But he gave him.
He used to do in the background dancing, kicking his leg up and all.
Yeah. What was that dance they used to do? That Leader of the New School shit?
Yeah, exactly.
What you call it? The East Coast stomp? What did you call it?
That's what it's called.
It's the East Coast stomp.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
West Coast rapper was doing that. Hammer was doing
Flavor
that.
Flav, shoot, it was what it was,
I don't say nothing about the Flavor Flav. I used to do that at the Hamilton dances.
See, shout out to Hamilton. We got a lot of Hamilton exposure over here.
So. Hey, Flav was on the crack when he was doing all this.
Ouch.
Right.
But yeah, so
he was on that disco stuff right there, boy.
And that dude, it's funny. You just see him as the hype guy, but that dude can play all type of instruments and do all type of stuff.
Talented.
Very
talented.
And he's still, and I'm telling you, I love love. I can't do nothing for you, man. It's just to
Oh,
me
come
this
on.
I
song.
love all this. Hey, old record with Flavor. Hey, 911 is the joke. Come on, Flavor. Hey, this ain't the Flavor Flav show. But since we're getting off subject, man, hey, check this out. I just have to say this. My whole world has been blown. I found out Steely Dan. This song called Hey 19. Y'all hip to it? Hey 19.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought he was talking about a Colombian girl when he said the Cuervo Gold, the fine Colombian. You know what he's talking about when he said fine Colombian?
Okay.
I didn't know.
Hey, El Poo, in case you didn't know, White Horse.
Okay,
White lines.
okay.
We taking a vote.
Nice guy.
Remove
He's a
from
nice guy,
you
Oh,
are
shit.
suspended from the Focus Up Spin That Back show for the next 3 weeks, bro.
No, that information came with maturity. At that age, you wasn't supposed to know what he was talking about.
Yeah, that's
I
hey,
don't mess with. I ain't never did nothing with cocaine at all.
like Sheena Easton and Sugar Walls. You don't know
Right.
until you know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, go.
I kind of figured that one out. That's what made me want to, get down on. Anyway, let's go now.
Coming back to Black Moon. So you finished with Black Moon? I mean, because we talk about Black Moon, you talk about Smith and Wesson. I mean, who is Helter Skelter next up?
I think that's this one. Yep.
And there goes your brother Sean P.
Right.
Salute,
And that's when he first, and even Helter
Helter.
Skelter was just a glimmer of what Sean P would eventually become. Because that song, La Costa Nostra, whatever they had, was that a Helter Skelter song that was a posse cut? Or
La
whose
Fla, La
actual
Fla.
song that was?
I know the La Fla, whatever. That was
Yeah, who actually owned that? I know everybody
I
rhymed
think
on
that
it,
was
but
the Helter.
who's...
I think it was Helter Skelter. That was. I think
Yeah.
I can kind of almost. I have face blindness, but I can almost picture the single because I had the vinyl. So I'm pretty sure that was.
So that was a Helter Skelter song
That
with
was
all the
Helter
homies
Skelter
that
song.
rhymed on it and shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
to me,
and
that was
Operation.
Helter Skelter's Thriller to me and shit. Like it didn't get no higher than that for them.
Yeah.
And it took all their homies to do it and shit.
Hold up, did they had the Operation Lockdown, which is their biggest single, which was like I was doing my research last night. I'm like, I remember this song, like, God damn. And he spit the bars word for word for word for word. Like, yo, the brother with the deep voice. I don't know. Is that Sean Price? Like,
I
No,
think
that's Rock. That's Rock.
Yeah, Rock.
The other one and shit. The one with the super deep voice. That's Rock. Rock.
Ruck was Sean Price. Ruck is Sean Price, and Rock was the other one.
Right. Something I forget. It was Ruck and Rock, right?
Ruck is Sean Price.
Okay. So Rock was the one with the deep voice. Okay.
Kill it. And I
Let
was
me put
doing a
your
lot of
comment up
research.
here, Born Allah. He said Sean Price ended up being the epitome of the boot camp.
Epitome.
Oh, excuse me.
Of the boot camp.
LA
later in
Unified
his
School
career.
District.
Yeah, I'm lost, bro.
He was on the east side. He was on the west
Yeah,
side.
he didn't go to Hamilton. Don't look like he went to Hamilton. He didn't have the magnet. He didn't have the magnet
You're
program.
wrong for that. You're wrong for that.
I graduated from a school called Locke. Okay.
You can tell you didn't grow up on the west side with us, Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh man, but
Mr. Miller would be rolling around in his grave and shit right now. That's an inside joke. Me and Mr. Nice Guy used to have Mr. Miller in the 6th grade and shit.
Oh,
He was
man.
sweet as fuck.
that's right. Me and Born a lot go way back.
Y'all had
This
Mr.
brother,
Miller too? We had Mr. Miller, the cornbread killer.
oh yeah, I always bring to he's the one that he nominated me for homecoming president back at Pasture. So he like pulled me to the side and had an inspirational conversation a while. He felt I was a leader, and that's the type of brother he was. He always was just that type of brother.
Yeah, man. I was his Morpheus at the time and shit. You're the one.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. Somebody called the earthquake. I ain't gonna say who.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Floyd X.
Don't trip, man.
I've been correcting that nigga on that for the last 50 years.
Oh shit.
I love you, bro.
Oh man, it's all love.
And you talk about Sean Price. I mean, I know we kind of jumping, but because I knew Helter Skelter. I didn't make the connection between Sean Price and Helter Skelter. Those were two different things, and I had like a lot of respect for this dude. But when I really sort of like dug into him was with that Mike Tyson project, And I
Mm.
mean, he put it down. I
It
mean,
might
Yeah,
have
Mike
been
Tyson.
because when he went solo,
Brooklyn.
he changed his whole style.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he wasn't trying to hold his man down. You know what I'm saying? It was just him. He was unleashed.
Yeah.
yeah.
So he turned into a
Wow. I have
beast.
a little bit of a backstory that I know about that because one of the main producers on Monkey Bars, which was when he started really rising the frame, Mike Tyson ended up being like the epitome or when he really got on. But when people started noticing him, it was Monkey Bars. One of the main producers on there is Aguilar the Don, and Aguilar is a friend of mine who's produced. I got songs with Aguilar, so he always talks about how during that time when they was doing that project, people wasn't fucking with him. Like the whole boot camp clique, everybody was scrambling around because you got to think when the money stopped coming, you got to think people start going for self. So Buckshot is over there doing his solo shit. I think he might have did an album with KRS One. He, brothers is trying to sustain their livelihoods and stuff. So there was
That
no
robot song was terrible, but yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so they started. There was very limited camaraderie amongst the crew. Wasn't nobody looking out. So that was him venturing out and just doing it. And he always talked about how one of the only producers that was giving him free beats and messing with him was Aguilar. And it was really how he ended up really getting back on. So that just is a testimony of what the crew ended up being as far as getting bread and what their situation was as far as popularity. And that's what Sean Price ended up coming out of. Like, yo, I'm trying to get back on. I'm trying to be back in the game. Like, so that's just a testimony of the type of hungry he had to been experiencing for him to come out the gates like that, to go from Monkey Bars to Mike Tyson and end up doing and being, who he ended up being and stuff like that, man. He
But
was
here's
he
the
was a
thing
monster.
too. That was the beauty of these guys. They just I mean, I hate saying it sounds so cliche and goofy, like they were regular guys. They was really just some normal kids. Like they was talking about like they would go on tour and just come back and be in the projects like nothing. And they
Yeah.
would trip off people staring at them like, aren't you this and that? They'd be like, oh, who the fuck is you, kid? Like they was really on their shit, like,
Yeah,
because
Right.
they didn't look at it like nothing. They just looked at it as a hustle
yeah, it's a
to
hustle.
do. And we rap, yeah, but we home, we back home, we in the project, we chilling. Some don't live in the project, some do. We right here, but yeah, they didn't know.
Yeah. No, and that happens, man, because you got to think during that era and during that time, the music industry was different. People was getting record deals. So when
Yeah,
you have a record deal, you have a budget. So you always look the part when you on the budget and shit. But when you off budget, then the shit don't match. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And I experienced that. I experienced that firsthand with Movement X. You know what I'm saying? Like I was going on tour. People would see me. I performed at the NAACP Image Awards with the boys, the dudes that used to dance, and people would see me on TV. But I was going back to Corny Street at the
Wow.
end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I was on C Street with all that shit. I was on Rap City and shit back when they had the mayor that used to do the commercial, do the impressions and all that and shit like that. I did
Chris
all that
Thomas.
shit,
Chris Thomas. Okay.
and it gave the impression that I was popping. But at the end of the day, I was back on Corny.
So you wait a minute. Hold on, bro. You saying Corning and Guthrie, Sawyer,
I was on Corny
Cadillac?
and Cadillac.
Okay, Cadillac. Okay. All right,
Yeah,
good.
I was on Corny and Cadillac. That's where
I
I
was,
grew up at. I grew up in the Playboys. Yes, you can go ahead and say it. I grew up in
no,
the
I was
Playboys.
I used to live on Cheriton between Cadillac and Guthrie. I'm just saying.
Okay, absolutely. We West Side guys and shit.
No.
I
I was
love
a
the
grown
color.
ass man. That was my first apartment.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense and shit. So I ain't that bad at you of mispronouncing epitome and shit. You got a little West Side in you and shit.
I got a lot of LA. That's what I got. What?
Yeah, for real.
Around this time, though, 93, 94, let's say 94, they started Duck Down Music, right? This was the same time around Bad Boy starting, when Wu-Tang started getting their record deals and all this old stuff. I'm talking about individuals and everything. Yeah. No Limit. Everybody was starting these label conglomerates, and they was in the midst of all that. They was on it early. Salute to them for that.
For real, for real. Those are the days, man. Like I said, the stamp of approval was getting that record deal, man. Everything started transitioning in the late '90s when things started going digital. The MPs and MP3s coming out and short form being able to compress the content to be able to email it and move it back and forth. Like all that stuff changed. Like, so you start seeing that current. So like the glory years of people getting record deals, like you said, was in 94, 95. Everybody getting record deals or opening, not only getting record deals and launching their own labels. That's where you get the Diddy and the Death Rows and things of that nature. But then later on, as the 90s begin to come to the close going into the 2000s, is when you begin to see the transition going into the digital format to eventually with the environment of music end up being today.
Yeah, that goddamn Napster.
LimeWire changed the game, my dude.
Sure.
File sharing changed the game and shit, man. Because
Napster was the beginning of all that. Napster.
exactly. So, and I think this is what it is, and I know this may be off the subject, but it must be said is that to me, all of that devalued the music now because nobody actually, you don't go to people's houses and see music collections no more. So what
Exactly.
they did is that they devalued the music to now that you don't own it, you just have access to it. So now instead of me owning your own whole catalog, I just have access to your whole catalog for a monthly fee.
In other words, you don't have something physically tangible that you can touch and read the, read the lyrics and look at the artwork and all this old stuff that you appreciated about artists.
Hey, Born Alive, I remember you had a release party or something for one of your joints, and I remember how
no hip hop for grown men. No hip hop for grown men.
You had it on the little USB thing that was all special and stuff like that. I remember I bought like a few of them, and I said it to my boy Kanal, Brick Walls, and I was just like, you see, this is brilliant. This is like, I was like, this is the type of stuff that makes you really think, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that was dope. But
that's what I'm moving forward when I'm doing now. Like and that's really for when you at the shows when people really want your physical merchandise. So now my whole idea now is that when you get the flash drive, you get the whole album, get the instrumentals and the acapellas, which is valuable for the DJ. And then also you put the videos on there as well so that they can have the videos. Once they dump everything, now they got a dope flash drive, like the little armbands like that I created. So, it's just a way of doing it, man. It's player shit.
Mr. Bourne, you know me. I was at one of your album release
You
parties
was at that party. You was there too.
Oh, you was there? Nice. He was there?
I was there. Yeah, I was there.
Word is Barney was there. Word is Barney was there. So I got pictures with both of you and shit. You are actually in the like we did like a
the living room.
Yeah, the living room. But you were actually in. I did like a video of the whole night and stuff with me interacting with people, and me and you got a whole exchange in it and shit, man. When we talking and shit, man.
Oh
so
shit. Okay.
Yeah, I got to send that to you and shit, man.
Hey, check this out. We talked about this on the Focus Up show. I was trying to get back with my ex-wife, and we went to the show together.
Okay.
That was all. We had just broke up, and that was how we rekindled shit. So that's
look. Damn mood that gave me the opportunity to do it at that venue and everything.
That's
man.
right.
So
he was running that at that point. Yeah, no, that was real dope. That was real dope.
So
shout out to DJ Damu.
Just had a tie on the shit. I'm trying to get back with my ex.
He was definitely in there fly.
Yeah. So look, I still got that picture, bro.
I always say this from my whole sort of like whole neighborhood. We have our own direct neighborhoods, but then we have sort of like these all bigger connected neighborhoods. So when I think about sort of like the greater West Side area, I always think of the DJ was DJ Damu, and I think as the rapper is Born Alive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I got mad respect for you to my real brothers, Hammy brothers. So salute to y'all.
Yeah, me and Damu been getting our hip hop on for years, man. So like, and all of that, I say that it helped nurture what I do today. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, it's the support, man. It's the same way.
I gotta say my Damu story. I caught the 33 bus with my brother Do Rock, and Damu used to do the parties, and Damu was getting on because we was coming from Western, and he was getting on. He said. He knew Durock was on that bus. He said, before he seen him, where my money, Durock? Where my money, Durock? Salute to DJ Damu.
Oh, man. That's dope, man. No, those are dope memories and shit, man.
But back to the boot camp clip. So we talked about Helter Skelter. Oh, you're muted, El Poo.
Grimy, gritty group.
You are muted. You are muted, El Poo.
The beats was grimy. The beats
My
was
bad,
like
y'all. My bad, y'all. Hey, we got
samples.
talking about OGC now, original gun clappers.
Oh yeah, damn! Y'all forgot about them and shit, man. Damn, I forgot how many groups was in there. So I had
Yeah,
forgot all
they was
about the gun
thorough.
clappers
It
and
was
shit. Now, who was the members in that? Y'all got to jog my memory and shit. I remember the name, but who was the members?
Yeah, I'm totally in the fog with them
Because I
OGC.
thought the original gun clappers was just a term that they used to call it
That's
click.
a
Like,
group.
Bucktown,
That's
yeah, like in Bucktown, the original gun clappers, home of
yeah,
the original
original
gun
gun clappers.
clappers.
That's what I always thought. I thought that was just part of their shit, like the terms, what they
a
refer to
group.
themselves as.
It's a group.
Yeah,
I
it's
heard of it.
actual. Yeah, I actually did have my stuff. You caught me off guard. We got into all this other stuff. I actually closed out my window. I try to have my information. Walker's a person is really the minister of information on top of all that type of stuff.
Okay.
So and he gets on me when I'm on my phone on live.
that's OGC. I might have been locked up when this came out, but
Original
I
gun
know it's a
clappers.
group though.
Yeah.
So did y'all find out who the members are?
2000.
Hold on, I'll go ahead and look it up because I sure don't know.
You mentioned it, nigga.
Yeah, I always thought the original gun clappers was just like the crew name, like what they called themselves, Bucktown, the original gun clappers.
It's an album. It's a group, bro. I did see it, but I just didn't dive into
Okay,
this.
so the OGC. Okay, here. So I got the
This like 99, 98 shit. This is
Strange Wonder, Louisville Slugger, and Top Dog.
Yeah, this is after our era. This like you can look up their first shit that came out. This might be 2000 or 99.
It sounds like it's their Killer Army and shit. Like you got Wu-Tang and Killer Army. That's what it sounds like. They little homies or something. Shit.
Exactly. Look it up. What is it? Nice.
No, it's 1994. 1994. Strange Wonder, Louisville Slugger, and Top Dog. 1994 to the present.
Well, I'm with Born Online. I just thought it was the same two original gun clappers. I probably done said that.
That was when they formed. The album dropped. The Storm dropped in 1996, and then the Impre Strike Back. That's I guess the Empire.
What was the singles
August
off
31,
of that? Like, what was the
1999.
video singles off of that?
I don't know. I remember No Fear. I remember that track.
Yeah, because I'm drawing a blank right now with them.
And
if Born don't know about them, it ain't important. Let's get back to Helter Skelter, Buckshot, and wait, who else? Smith and Wesson.
Hey,
they don't know about no damn OG.
hey, Born Alive. I wasn't gonna mention this on the show, so I'm just gonna ask you if you heard about it. I'm not gonna say what it is. Did you ever hear about the situation that happened with Biggie and the boot camp Clik?
Oh yeah, they was mad about it because when they did the Lacoste and Notion food, that video, that dude that they was smacking around, his imagery was like the way Biggie looked. You know what I'm saying? With the Versace and all that and stuff like that. And Biggie, because as quiet as kept, Biggie used to get butthurt about different things because you got to think like when he came out, he was an epitome like that baller stuff, like the baller hip hop that Puffy and that crew came in. A lot of hardcore MCs resented that, or at least when they wanted to talk about people biting that, they necessarily wasn't talking about Biggie doing it. I think they was more talking about the minions of people that was copying it after a while and shit. But Biggie used to get butthurt when people would refer to him like that. So if you're looking at, I think it was the Lacoste Nostra video or whatever, they got a guy in there that kind of looked like Biggie and shit. He got on a Versace colorful shirt with the dark glasses. I think he was kind of big. So I think he was hot about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Biggie had it in for a couple of people and shit, although he didn't ever bark. Like, he didn't fuck with them Wu-Tang niggas and shit, except for meth and shit, and that kind of like emerged before the beef actually started with that song with the what that he did. I know he didn't fuck with them dudes, and I know he didn't fuck with them little what's the name dudes, and it was a crosstown rivalry thing because they was all from Medina, from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think the Bucktown niggas is from Brownsville, I believe, and shit. Yeah,
well, Buckshot's from Brownsville, that's for sure.
Exactly, and I know that's where Sean Price is from as well, because Aguilar the Don is from Brownsville, and they all lived in the same projects and shit. So I know that they was from, but then I know I believe Biggie was from like off Myrtle Ave and shit like that, which is another side of town.
He's from Bed-Stuy.
Yeah. So, you know, I think that was kind of like a rivalry. Like Brooklyn people fuck with each other, but then you got little low-key Brooklyn rivalries and stuff. And
a lot of those the funny part is, like, Brooklyn is a small ass little ass city.
No, Brooklyn is one of the biggest boroughs.
No, wait, hold on.
No, it's got different little sections though, bro. It's big.
Wait, hold on, listen. But that's how it is on the. That shit ain't bigger than West LA. That's what I'm saying. though. That's how it is out here where people is gangbanging, and it's like y'all all live right the fuck next door and around the block.
Right.
All that shit is like 2 minutes away and walk.
Right. Yeah, I grew up in the Playboys and shit, but the schoolyards and the gears is right on the other side over there.
Exactly.
Major enemies. Marvin's in the Manfields is right next door.
I got history and shit. I got ran down Venice for World on Wheels plenty of nights, homie.
I feel like this though. I came from the East Side. I feel like the Playboys, y'all was like the last hood in LA. Not the last hood, but last before you get into like no man's land.
Yeah, to Beverly Hills. We was the last hood before you got into the good area, Beverly Hills and all that, and Chevy Hills.
And everything else is West LA, really West LA.
Yeah, and then but the show lines got to be somewhere. So I mean, they was like,
the very last. They by themselves. They by themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all got
like show lines might as well have been on an island.
They dealing with the essays over there. Y'all got like twisted. See, people always think shit sleep. The show line's going through a lot. They got to deal with the PBGs, the Marvins, and the Gears. Well, not
to mention what they went through with the Chicano gangs and shit. I think it was the 18th Street. Remember, they had a long standing war with them out there and shit, man.
Yeah, but
we don't want to talk about gang politics.
Oh no, let's get back there.
Spin it back. Rewind.
What we saying is, but Brooklyn is a little bit more spread out than what you think. You can look at the map and figure it out. You know what I'm saying, for yourself. That's how I did. I had to look at the map like, oh shit, this shit is big as hell.
I know it's crazy when you actually get to put your eyeballs on the geography because they got all type of places where you got to take boats to go to.
Yeah,
like y'all inland, but you got to take boats to go to other places inland.
You got to take the
ferries and stuff. Shit. Yeah, that's crazy.
Y'all live, son.
Yeah, But anyway, it is what it is. And this is the Boot Camp Clik. This is Black Moon. This was Buckshot, who was the only person that everybody knew from Black Moon. And this is the Spin That Back show. And we're about to get up out of here. And we respect y'all coming through once again.
Hey, salute Born Alive for coming on, bro.
Hey, Born Alive.
Hold on. Salute, bro. Salute.
I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all always keeping the light on for me and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start getting ready and put my makeup and my face on before I start commenting this shit.
Hey, stay on. We're gonna talk to you after this, so just keep on when he kills it. So go ahead.
I ain't going nowhere, people.
And shout out to Brick Walls. Hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, we need to get Brick Walls back on here, man.
We gotta get him on here. He ain't been on here this year, but this is what we do. Anyway, we finna be out of here. Back to the music. So check us out again next week. We will be back 10:30.
Let's talk with Walk Thursday 9 p.m. Focus
Saturday mornings 10:30. You catch us here. And then catch Sex Talk with Walk 9 p.m. on Thursday night. Yes, sir.
Who did this beat for y'all?
I did this beat for us.
Ah.
All right, we out.